More checking proportions. So, they're making us doing fractions this time. 1 1/6 times 8 is one of the ones we must check. The other one is 2 1/3 times 4. As always, if these two products are equal, it means the proportion is true. If we get different numbers, it means the proportion is false. So, if we do 2 1/3 times 4, you remember how to do this? First, the mixed number is no good. We're going to multiply and add to get rid of that. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we're talking about 7/3 times 4. And since we're talking fractions, I'm going to write 4 as 4 over 1. Now we multiply. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 7 times 4 is 28. 3 times 1 is 3. It's not pretty, but it'll do. Let's see if we get the same thing when we do the downstairs, or the blue cross product. 1 1/6 times 8. Again, this mixed number isn't doing us any favors, so let's deal with that. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 6 times 8. Again, I want this to be a fraction, so I'm just going to put it over 1. And we multiply. 7 times 8 is 56. 6 times 1 is 6. Ooh, they don't match. Or do they? Do you see why they do match? This fraction's okay the way it is, but this one you shouldn't stop here. 56 over 6 is reducible. Both of those numbers are even, so we can at the very least divide them both by 2. And when you do that, 56 divided by 2 makes 28. 6 divided by 2 makes 3, and aha. Now that we have them all properly cleaned up, we see that they do match, and so the proportion's false. So, good practice on the proportion, and this lesson again, we're not going to remind you to reduce your fractions. You've always got to be on top of that yourself. If you had stopped here and said the fractions don't match, you would have gotten all red ink, because these really are the same fraction, and you can see that once you take them to lowest terms.